What is up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today is going to be a chest workout, which is of course one of my favorite workouts to do. Building the chest is very important for classic physique, and in 11 weeks we will be at the Arnold Classic UK stage. So maintaining strength, getting a good pump, performance in the workouts is becoming more and more important to ensure that the muscles keep their size, but actually also increase their fullness throughout the prep, and that's the goal. So we're gonna get started with the first movement, the dumbbell press. And normally I don't start with it because I used to be pretty strong in the dumbbell press, but we're gonna test out how strong I am today. And this is gonna be one of the routines or rotations of chest we're gonna do, so let's warm up first. Now it's time for the elbow sleeves, because I feel in this movement, even though you want to be tough and say, oh, my joints are fine, I still feel a little bit in the elbow, so you want to prevent that before it gets worse. Elbow sleeves, if you put them on, they put fabric here, and you do this, the tension is then lessened at the elbow. And that's the reason why I wear elbow sleeves, not because it provides more strength, because it doesn't, but it provides less tension on the elbow, which is what I'm after. So let's put them on. Okay guys, we are getting to the top row, the heaviest row of dumbbells in this gym. This is the lightest one of the top row, but it's still a heavy one because this entire top row wasn't even available, and it's not even officially available anywhere in the world because these Hexa dumbbells only go officially until 50 kilos. So all the other dumbbells we custom made to fit the exact same proportions of these Hexa dumbbells, but this time made them until 70 kilos. So, and they are being used probably only by me, but still, it's worth it. Let's go. The hardest part, guys, here's the bench, there are the dumbbells. So first you need to do first a shrug, then a farmer's walk, then like a reverse deadlift, and then I have to do the press. So wish me luck. Logging this important lift. So let me show you how I do that. So here you have flat dumbbell press. You can see the history here. A lot of history since 2020. I've been logging this lift. As you can see, last time I stopped at 65. And now let's make it only 10 to be sure. 70. And you can see the second set, I did 60. And yeah, I feel like doing 60 again. So this time we need to hit at least 15 or more reps in order to maintain strength of last time in the second working set. So let's do our best. But first, rest a little bit more. Okay, we rested enough, and now it's time for 60 kilos. And you would think it's much easier than the 70, but after having done an all-out set like the first one, you're never sure how much strength you have left. So that's why the rest pause, the rest period in between the sets is very important. So let's go. And whenever you have shoulder problems or issues, I always recommend stretching in between every exercise as well, just to ensure you prevent any further issues with the shoulder. So let's do that. Remember, on the chest press, because of the converging handles, you want to make use of the contraction. So the squeeze is something you can use, which you couldn't use with the dumbbells because you lose tension. Here the tension is constant, so you can squeeze all the way to the front. And the further we move along in weight, the lower the reps will become in order to preserve all the energy for the only sets that stimulate muscle growth, the working sets. Let's grease up this machine. If you guys saw the previous or one of the previous videos, you saw that this is a new machine that we got. And as you can see, this is all friction that is causing the machine to be heavier. And you only want the true weight to be the actual resistance and not the friction itself. So this helped me put on like 20 kilos on the Smith machine with the exact same setup, but only adding the secret ingredient, silicone spray, to the gliders, and it makes it a lot more easy. But now, of course, I need to get to the bottom. Can't show you that on video, but just rest assured, if you have a machine at your gym, your home gym, or even at your commercial gym, using this at some machines that are very, feel very sluggish, add this and you will feel you will be adding PRs to every single machine that has that. So yeah, and you can see this is a very nice pre-core machine. It allows for a lot of freedom of motion. So almost, for example, if you're short, you can do this. If you're tall, you can do this, but it naturally goes to the position where you need it to be. You always want to go high volume, because if you go too heavy on an isolation movement, you actually turn it into a compound because you can't isolate a muscle with a heavy, super heavy weight. And this already feels very good. So actually a tip is, if it's too heavy to start, one arm first, go to the middle and grab the other one, and then you can do it. Always retract the shoulder blades and then purely use a chest to do the movement And then now the front delts are actually soft, because I can also do like this. Now the front delts are contracted, but if I really focus on only the chest, you use only the chest and keep the front delts out of it, because you don't want to target them unnecessarily. Oh, yeah, I miss this machine, guys. I like doing like a dumbbell fly or a cable fly, but nothing feels as smooth as a Pec Deck. And you also can, of course, turn around for the rear delts and even the traps if you want. So, an amazing, versatile machine. All right, so the last chest movement is going to be the flat Sun Machine bench press. We're going to do one working set, but since it's a flat bench press, you never want to go straight to the working set. No matter how pumped your chest is, you always want to get used to the feeling. If it feels uncomfortable, knock it off, because this is the #1 movement you can tear your chest with, especially if it's a free bar, of course, but let's just get used to the feeling and then move on to the working set weight. We are coming straight from the bench press. No need for a very long break here, because side delts don't really have much to do with the chest. And even if your stamina isn't there yet, this will only be limited by the lactic acid in the side delt itself. So let's go. Rope tricep extension time, simply to warm up the triceps, but also to work on the long head. Wait, what? The long head of the triceps. Yes, as I mentioned previously, the pushdown variations actually work the long head even more efficiently compared to overhead movements. The literature is out there, even though it's an old school thought that only the overhead movements do, but no, push down variations do as well. So I feel this one the best anyway. So not only is it a warm-up, but also a serious movement to build the entire triceps. Let's go. One more thing about the long head. So a lot of researchers, they mention that the stretch of the muscle causes the most muscle growth. And yes, in a lot of cases that is true, because they literally tested it on the leg extension. They did partials compared to full range of motion and upper partials, for example, and even the lower partials with the stretch involved pretty much built the most muscle with the least fatigue. So that was most efficient, but guess what? That was the leg extension. There are a lot of different muscles in the body. And the triceps actually work a little differently. Don't quote me on this just yet, but research has shown that long head is one of those tricep parts that actually responds a little better to the contraction part than the stretch. So for years, when you have focused on the stretch of your triceps, and for some reason the long head still isn't where it needs to be, something must be going on, right? And in my case, that is the case. So focusing on the squeeze always felt better, felt more natural. I could almost never really get a good stretch feeling in any movement. But with this one and other push downs and close grip bench press, I feel a lot better. So I'm gonna be mainly sticking to those and yeah, bringing you along with the ride of seeing how much that progresses his triceps. But time for the next push down variation. So this is kind of a narrow grip, but it feels very good, especially when going up and down. Both the stretch and the contraction felt very nicely. And you can go a bit heavier here compared to the rope push down. Really focus on the isolation of a muscle here. Stretches at the top. Now I feel the stretch and traction. Last movement of the day is going to be a compound for the triceps. The benefit of having done those isolations is that the triceps are now truly the weakest part of the link, because in a compound you're using multiple muscle groups, the chest and the triceps, and you want the triceps to fill first, obviously. So it's the close grip bench press. And a mistake a lot of people make is they put their hands literally like this or even like this. It's too close. Even a close grip is already this. So keeping about 3 or 4 fists in between both hands is already close enough, because you want to be able to put your elbows very close to your body. And in order to do that, you really retract the shoulder blades as much as possible. And that allows you to really put the elbows next to your body. This is the only tricep movement I like to do a little heavier, as in less reps, because I can go a lot heavier here, but the form would not be right. I would be using the chest. Right now, I'm truly trying to use the triceps as much as possible. The chest will always be involved, but you don't want it to be a main factor in this lift. That's it for today, guys. I'll be doing some abs off camera. And then it's time for the post-workout meal. Alrighty guys, we are now upstairs in the office, and normally I would have a post-workout shake, but I actually took with me my breakfast because this morning I had a pregnancy shoot with my girlfriend, but I honestly like to call her my wife since we already have 2 children now, so it's kind of strange and weird to call someone like that your girlfriend, because it sounds kind of, you know, immature. But anyway, this is normally my breakfast. Doesn't look as appealing when it's been in the fridge for a while, but this is the whey paste, the cream of rice, the Calabo chocolate, and of course, you know, the deliciously flavored experience you get when eating this. So it still tastes very good. But what I had in the morning is normally what I would have at my pre-workout shake, and my post-workout shake I had right before coming to the gym. Why? Because those shakes are very similar. My pre-workout shake is simply 100 grams of cream of rice, 40 grams of whey isolate, and half a banana. And my post-workout shake is 100 grams of cream of rice and 40 grams of whey isolate. So almost the same. So I just had those 2 shakes before coming to the gym, and that's what you have to do when you're you know, a bodybuilder. You want to be practical and you still want to get enough sleep. You got to switch around those meals whenever possible. So I'm just having this as my post-workout meal. And don't forget to check out one of my previous videos. It was a rest day where I actually showed you in detail how to make this breakfast yourself. And even if you don't have cream of rice, I'll also make a video on how to make your own cream of rice the cheapest possible way from scratch. No need to buy any brands or overpriced rice powder for babies. No need, you can make it yourself. More about that in the next video, but I'm going to enjoy this breakfast. I really want to thank you a whole lot for watching, and don't forget to check out vintagegenetics.com. A lot more content is coming. It will be ramping up as we get to the show, the Arnold Classic UK, which I'm very excited for. And of course, don't forget to stay